Good morning, LPES. Well, I should kind of be honest, so it's not actually morning right now. I mean, it is for you, I imagine, if you're watching this on Friday morning. But right now, I'm actually sneaking this in. I'm recording it at night, so it's Thursday night right now. I almost said Wednesday night. Thursday night right now, but I'm going to say good morning to you because hopefully you're watching this tomorrow morning, on Friday morning. Sometimes I do our videos, our Friday Feels, live because it's kind of fun to think that we're all doing the same thing at the exact same moment. But I also know that then I can't really show you things on like my screen or read you stories that are on the computer because you can't do that with a YouTube Live. So today, pre-recording it so that you can see some other things. And hopefully we can switch it up a little bit. I feel like it's been me talking a lot lately. Before we dive into our mindfulness today, just a few quick announcements. So, seeing as today is, again, tomorrow in reality, but for you, today is Friday, April 30th. It means that tomorrow, the real tomorrow, May 1st on Saturday, is technically School Principals Day. Now, it doesn't really make much sense to have School Principals Day on a weekend when we're not in school. So, let's celebrate today. If you see Mrs. Bammer today, be sure to wish her a happy School Principals Day. Thank her for everything that she does. And speaking of thanking people for what they do, next week is a really exciting week. Let me tell you a little secret. Get a little bit closer so that the grown-ups in your classrooms don't hear. Okay? Next week is Teacher Appreciation Week. Really big deal. So for all 5 days, we're going to be celebrating our teachers, celebrating everything that they've done for you this year, and they've done a lot this year, right? A lot more even than our regular year because so many of them are teaching kind of virtual on some days and in person on other days and live streaming, and we've all just kind of been rolling with it as we go and learning as we go through the year. So make sure next week you are A, on your best behavior for your teachers, and B, you're making sure that you're saying thank you to them for everything that they do. Following that, just to keep our announcements going, we also have School Nurses Week School Nurse Appreciation Day on May 12th. So that's the week after that, but I wanted to make sure you knew so that we can also thank our awesome school nurse, Mrs. Cifelli, who also has been working super hard this year to make sure everybody's safe, everybody's healthy, and doing all of that extra stuff for us. So make sure you thank all those people. We got Mrs. Bammer, we got all of our teachers, and we got Mrs. Cifelli. Lots of celebrations in the month of May. So in the month of May, we also have Mental Health Awareness Month. And this is a time when we are really focusing on our mental health. And you might be saying to yourself, Mrs. Heffler, I can't focus on my mental health because I don't actually know what that is. And that's okay. That's why we have Mental Health Awareness Month, so we can all learn about it a little bit more together. Mental health is basically what we do when you're talking with me or when we're doing these videos. Our mental health is just like our physical body health, except it has to do with our brain and with our hearts. So making sure that we keep ourselves healthy with our emotions, making sure that we keep ourselves healthy by taking time for ourselves and doing things that bring us joy, doing things that calm us down, hopefully like our Friday Feel videos. And I am so excited to share with you guys that for the month of May, not next week, but after that, for the month of May, we are going to be having some special guest stars on our Friday Feels, which is really exciting. We're going to have some other staff members who kind of do what I do with kids. They talk to kids, they try and help them when they're feeling down or when they're having a tough day or when they're having a fight with someone. So we're going to be talking to a few of those staff members, so keep your eyes out because it's not going to be just Mrs. Heffler. There's going to be some other people actually coming onto our Friday Feels. I'm so excited. I feel like we're a talk show or something. So keep watching. Okay. Now that we've gotten through all of the announcements for today, I wanted to talk to you guys about something really important. This was actually inspired by a lesson I was doing with my second graders and my third graders in the past couple of weeks. And the lesson is talking about worry. What is worry? think about it for a moment. And my second and third graders, you should probably have an idea of this in your mind since we just talked about it, or at least most of our classes did. I think we did some different ones in second grade. What is worry, and where does it show up? Worry is a tricky thing because sometimes it can come out of nowhere. Unexpectedly, we can be feeling great and suddenly, boom, we're hit with a worry. Worry can be worrying about something that might happen in the future, or it can be worrying about something that already happened in the past. So it ties in really nicely with when we're talking about mindfulness, because if you remember, when we talk about mindfulness, we talk about that little bouncy ball of our brain that kind of goes all over the place. And the only way to get us to really drop in, like the tennis ball was doing, sorry, I wish I had my tennis ball at my house, but I don't, it's in my classroom. The only way we really get ourselves to drop in is by trying to be present and trying to live in the here and now. And that's doing things like taking those deep breaths, moving our bodies, doing a senses check-in. All of those can help us to stop thinking about the future and the what ifs that lay there, right? What if this happens? What if I do bad on my test? What if I fall and everyone laughs at me? What if I don't hit the ball in baseball? What if I make a mistake in dance class, whatever it might be? Or the things that have already happened. Did I say the right thing to that person? Did I do okay on my test when I gave those answers? Did I make a mistake when I said something in front of my friends? Whatever it might be. So I wanted to share with you all a story that I found that I think really sums up worry pretty nicely and also gives you some other ideas, some things that we can be doing with that toolkit that we're always talking about, our mental toolkit, or that toolbox of the coping strategies, the things that we can do to help ourselves feel better. Okay? So we're going to go ahead and read that story right now. I hope you enjoy. Our book is Find Your Calm, a mindful approach to relieve anxiety, which is another word for worry, and grow your bravery, by Gabby Garcia, illustrated by Marta Pineda. Find your calm. Anxiety can feel big and powerful. It can show up suddenly, without warning. It startles me. Sometimes it seems to go everywhere I do. In class, it brings a jumble of thoughts racing through my head. It's hard to think clearly. Before getting on the school bus, my body feels like it's moving in every direction. I'm overwhelmed. At the doctor's office, I freeze. It's too much to handle. When anxiety comes crashing in like thunder, it can feel scary. But I've learned what to do. Dad explained that feeling anxious or worried is normal. Everybody feels this way sometimes. It's the way our body and brain let us know there's danger. These feelings can be helpful if there really is a threat, but most of the time, it's a false alarm. We're not really in danger. So we need to feel a sense of safety again so that we can find calm. Here's what I like to do to help me feel safe. I look around and scan for reminders of safety, big or small. A friendly face, a color or shape, a tree, a flower, or anything else my eyes land on that is familiar, comforting, or calming to me. So we've seen these two pictures that in one, she's sitting with her mom and like kind of cuddling with her, but in another, she's at the bus stop and her mom's not there. Now, hopefully all of you are at the bus stop with your parents, but if you're in a space like school where mom and dad aren't around, we can still look for those things that are calm and comforting and familiar, like looking around your classroom and seeing a friend's face, or looking around our school and seeing something that you've passed many times before and knowing that you're in a space that is safe. I also use my other senses to become aware of my surroundings. I can pay attention to what I hear, smell, touch, or taste. This helps my mind and body focus on what's happening right now. I pay attention to my breath in and out. There is no rush. There is no danger, I tell myself. I'm ready to pay attention to how anxiety shows up in my body. I feel the thump, thump, thump of my chest as I wait for my turn in the class to show and tell. I notice the jiggle in my legs before climbing onto the school bus. And I pay attention to the tight squeeze on my shoulders when it's my turn to see the doctor. But the anxiety doesn't take over. I feel my feet on the ground. I notice the weight of my body connected to the earth beneath me. My breath deepens. I'm not frozen anymore. Slowly, I'm ready to move. My thoughts quiet down. I can do this. My bravery grows. I feel its strength in my legs, then notice as it spreads to my chest. I stand more powerfully. I move more confidently. I'm okay. I'm safe. My body pulses with bravery's rhythm. I was nervous speaking in front of the class, but I did it. And the shot hurt, but I got through it. Riding the school bus was hard at first, but I'm proud of myself because now I do it every day. Anxiety still storms in, but I know what to do. I use my breath and my senses to connect with safety in my body and find my calm. When I do this, my bravery grows, and I know I can get through this. Sometimes I get through it on my own, and sometimes with the help of someone I trust. I want to pause on this page for a moment. And I want you to think of a grown-up that you trust, someone that you can go to if you are having a problem. Hopefully you have grown-ups at home and grown-ups at school that you feel like you could go to if you need to talk about something. Maybe it's your teacher or one of your teachers. Maybe it's one of your related arts teachers or someone that you go to out of class during the day. Maybe it's your school counselor. Maybe it's someone else. But having someone that you can talk to when you feel those worries, when you feel that anxiety. And then at the end of this, we're not going to read through all of it, but we have some grounding activities, and some of them are things that we have done before. Like connecting to our senses. We see things that we see, feel, hear, smell, and taste. Doing some deep breathing and connecting with our body. Feeling the weight of our body on a chair or the feel of our feet on the ground. So I hope that book helped all of us to realize that we have worries that pop up all the time, and it's not just you. It's not just elementary school students. From my preschoolers and kindergartners all the way up to the fourth graders, but well beyond that too. Grown-ups have worries and anxieties too. We have things that we think about that have already happened or might happen in the future, and they kind of pull our brain in a bunch of different directions, or they make it bounce all over like that bouncy ball we've been talking about. So let's go ahead and do a mindfulness activity right now that we can practice, because the more we practice it, the easier it's going to be to use it when we actually need it. So you might be feeling fine right now. You're like, Ms. Heffler, it's Friday, I'm feeling good, I'm feeling relaxed, I'm feeling ready to start my day. But the more we practice these now, the easier it's going to be to use them when you're feeling really worried about something or when you're feeling really stressed. So a few of the things she did, she talked about taking in those deep breaths, right? So let's just practice doing some of those right now. I know last week we did our circle breathing. For this week, why don't we go ahead and do our square? We'll stick with shapes for these 2 weeks. So we're gonna do our square breathing. So we breathe in, breathe out, in, and out. Let's do one more of those. You can go at your own pace. I'm not going to trace my square. You trace it on your own. And then in the book, she talked about doing something grounding. When we think of grounding, we think of the ground, the earth, right? Our feet on the ground. So we need to do something grounding to keep us in the here and now, so our worries aren't taking us off in different directions. So let's go ahead and do that together right now. And we're gonna do one that's a little bit shorter than hers. She did 5 different things I think that she could see and 4 different things that she could hear. We're just gonna do one of each for ease of time, okay? But we'll do this together as a whole school group. So for right now, sitting in your chair, relaxed, I want you to notice one thing that you see in front of you. Don't say it out loud. Don't say it out loud. Just notice one thing. I want you to notice one thing that you feel. It's your body sitting on the chair, your clothing on your skin, your hair, your mask, probably, if we're in school, if we're at LPES, feeling that. I want you to notice one thing that you hear. I want you to notice one thing that you smell. So let's take a deep breath in through our nose and out. And it's interesting, if we're wearing our masks, it does make it harder to smell things, but you might be able to smell whatever you had for breakfast or your breath or whatever it might be. And lastly, taste. Notice any taste that you have in your mouth, anything from the last thing you ate or drank or brushing your teeth this morning. And the important thing is, guys, if you can't find anything, that's okay, right? We've talked about this before. It's absolutely fine. The point is that when you're thinking and focusing on those sensations, on those senses, it's hard for our brain to be bouncing around elsewhere and focusing on worries instead. So I hope that this helped us to understand a little bit more about the ways that we can calm ourselves down. I really love that idea of just finding something to focus on in your surroundings that is calming. Finding one thing that brings you peace. Finding one thing around you that brings you joy or comfort. When you're taking a math test and you're thinking, oh my goodness, I don't really know this answer, and you start to have that worry, that heart thumping and fast breath, and maybe you feel hot, whatever it might be. Checking in with the things around you and trying to stay grounded. All right, my friends, that is just about it for today. I am so excited for us to be together again next week. Next week, in honor of Mental Health Awareness Month, we are wearing green next Friday because green is the color of growth and strength and support. And we all need to support each other when we're dealing with our mental health and trying to be as healthy as we can be. So wear green next Friday. Enjoy all the fun celebrations of all these wonderful people that we have at our school in the next couple of weeks and days. And I will see you again soon. Bye, LPES.